Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about Google Shopping campaigns and improving the results with those campaigns using feed rules to insert or append information into the title that shows on your shopping ad. You know, of course, there's the image on the ad, there's the price. If you hover over, you can see the title. By updating that title with some extra trigger words, which I'm going to go over right here that we've used before, you can increase your results on your campaigns 20, 30, even 40% from what you have right now with this one simple change. And this really is just a simple change. It does not take much work at all. I've taken all the work out of it basically for you here, so there's no reason at all not to use it. It'll work for pretty much any space out there that you're in. So don't be shaking your head through this and say, I don't know, it probably ain't gonna work in my industry or my space. No, it works basically every time. Go ahead and give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. You're gonna try, and if you were particularly skeptical, you could try it out on a couple items, leave the rest of your items alone. That's the proper way to go out and try to figure out how to get more results on your Google Shopping campaigns. That all said, I'll give you some examples of this, how we used it, where we used it, the type of results, in terms of increase in results that we got using it for various markets. We'll get right into the content. One of the biggest factors in determining how much your PMAX / shopping campaigns are, which this also does cover PMAX, not just regular shopping, at least in the shopping placements that you get through PMAX. But one of the biggest factors that determine how much results you're going to get is CTR, click-through rate. Why? Because Google's algorithm is trying to always on a continuous basis trying to decide of all the people that are trying to run their ads on that Google Shopping space on Google search results, which ads are the most relevant for their users, because they want users to come back to Google and they want people to use that ad space to find what they want versus clicking an organic listing, which doesn't make the company any money. So if users are finding what they want quickly because they're showing the most relevant thing to the people in general, Google makes the most money. So the way that you get them to show you more is to get a higher click-through rate, because it indicates to Google that you should be shown over other people that also want those ad spots. A lot of people don't realize there's, usually 15, 20 people that want in those 8 shopping spaces, ad spots. And so if you don't measure up on click-through rate wise, then they don't want to show you. The other big factor, of course, is conversion rate, on the clicks that you do get, because that's the other measure of relevancy to users, for users, and whether or not people are going to get a good experience from using the Google Shopping space to find an item that they were looking to buy. The conversion rate itself, can be improved, should be improved, but we're not going to cover it necessarily in this video. What we are going to cover is click-through rate. I did talk about, by the way, improving your ad images to increase your click-through rate a tremendous amount, way more than 20, 30, 40% in terms of your performance, but 2, 3, 4, 5xing your performance by testing and optimizing the images by taking a product image and adding a drop shadow to it, or adding a red arrow pointing to the item, stuff like this that generally always will work. And so if you're interested in getting a little bit more out of shopping through increasing your click-through rate, I encourage you to watch that video as well. But as far as the title itself, a lot of people overlook this. You could use the title to add keywords in there so you show up for more stuff, but specifically to make your title more attractive, if you're going to go that general route to increase your click-through rate, this is pretty easy to do. You can get a higher click-through rate by optimizing the title to just look more attractive and end up with 5 to 25% more click-through rate on your ad as a result. And going back to what I said before, if you get even a 5% increase in your click-through rate by having the title optimized with adding a word before or after the title, which is what you're going to do using the feed rules, then you could basically get an additional 10, 15, 20% increase in click profit, because getting the click-through rate up will not only just get you more clicks on what's profitable to you already, but the cost per click is going to come down as a result of that. And on top of that, Google's going to want to show you at a higher percentage of the time. So there's 3 ways that you earn by getting the click-through rate up naturally. That said, what I usually do to improve the likability of the title that's showing when you hover over the shopping image is descriptive elements to make it, so in other words, this is 2 ways. Descriptive elements is one way to make a title more clickable, and then there's other novelty stuff you could put on the title to make it seem more attractive as a whole in terms of, you know, eye candy, for lack of better words. So for the first one, where you're trying to make the item more descriptive so that people feel like it's less risky to click on your ad because what you said in the title matches what they want, which is a lot of reasons why people actually look at the title itself before they click. They hover over and then read the title. You can do things like put the word red, or basically the color of that item, before where the title goes. You can also put the size of an item. We did this in the plus size women's clothing space. Put the size of the item after the regular title. If you are like in a market like what we had, where we sold like nuts and bolts and fasteners and that kind of thing, we put the size and the diameter of the product before the regular title, and that got a lot more results. In the plus size women's clothing space, we got 10% increase in click-through rate, roughly speaking, putting the color on the items as well as the size. We actually did both, color before and then the size after. And in the fastener space, it was just like this. We put the length and the diameter before the individual title, and that actually increased the click-through rate closer to 20%. So a massive increase in that case, but which makes sense, because if you see an item, you want to make sure it's the right size. Telling you that up front, that's obviously why it had such a big impact. It's something that's really needed to know in that space. So in order to do this, you use the feed rules. You simply go in and create a feed rule, and you have the feed rule say, use the color attribute from my product feed before the title. It's not that hard at all to do. I won't obviously go into detail on how to set that up physically on this video, but it's very easy to do if you just go ahead and search how to set up a feed rule. And but in 5-10 minutes you could set this up. You know, like I said, you could do it on certain items if you wanted to test it out on a small scale basis, which isn't a bad idea, because if you don't know it's going to work, instead of doing it to all your products and take a hit on your performance, which there's drawbacks to doing it slow as well, because if you do it for a part of all the items you sell, it'll take longer to find out if it works or not. But at least if it doesn't work, you're not going to be your results won't be affected a lot while the test is going on. But then, you know, in the case that you need to put the size of the diameter, that kind of thing, you could put that on your product feed, and then from there you tell it, okay, the attribute on the product feed for size, put that in front. Then the attribute on the product feed for diameter, put that in front, so to say. So that's one way to get the click-through rate up on your shopping ads when they're showing, by modifying that title. The other way you could go about doing this is add novelty words. So this is to make it more like eye candy, like I was saying before. One thing we did in the sporting goods space was we played around with adding the words new, most popular item, #1 top selling in front of the product title. So new tennis racket, most popular item, tennis racket, #1 top selling tennis racket. One of these 3, by the way, got the increase in click-through rate, which I'm not going to give up which one it is. And in this market was closer to a 5% increase in click-through rate. So it wasn't game-changing, but we'll still take it. 5% here, 5% there. That's all the results in doing PPC add up when you do that kind of stuff. But this is another way to go about increasing your click-through rate as well. So I would go with testing these specific ones because we already kind of know all of them had an effect on the click-through rate. One just did more than the others. So these are proven methods that you could use. And I would honestly think that it will vary based upon market, which one of these is going to work the best. So I would personally test them all. But in general, that's the whole kind of gig. You could use the feed rule to insert any word you want to the beginning of the title or at the end of the title, just like adding something from your product feed to the beginning or end of the title as well. So it could be something on your feed that is appended to the front or the end of your title as it is now to increase your click-through rates, or you could just have any word added at the front or the end like we did here in this market, in the sporting goods market, to get more results as well. So that's specifically how it's done and how you make money using shopping feed rules, or which feed rules are set up through Google Merchant Center specifically, or Merchant Center feed rules as some people call it. This is how you use Merchant Center feed rules to actually make money, more money than you're making now with shopping, or PMAX ads if you use PMAX to run shopping. But with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate a like, and consider subscribing to the channel, as I have a lot of other content on this channel that talk a lot about making money, doing online advertising, and stuff just like I shared here today. It's all coming from somebody who has 15 years of ad management experience and managed about 50 different ad accounts at any given time for a number of clients that I have at my own PPC agency and that I run. So you're getting real information that's coming from somebody who only does ad strategy on an ongoing basis. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't manage just a couple campaigns. So therefore, it's the best information I think you could find on YouTube, and because I haven't seen everything on YouTube, but for all practical purposes, it's the most good information. It's the best information you're going to find on actually making money with your ads. I also have a blog at GaryTPPC.com/blog with other advice from myself. I write that, or I authored that blog as well, and you can go ahead and see. If you like the channel, you can go and see my information there. You'll love it as well if you love the channel. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days. You can ask me any PPC related question you like. I'd be happy to try to answer it. If you're looking for somebody that's really good to manage your PPC campaigns, reach out to my firm. I'll be happy to try to look through your stuff and get you a quote on the results when we can provide your campaigns. If there is a match, we think we could work with you, which we don't work with everybody, but we'll guarantee you so much results on your campaigns up front before we charge anything. We're the only agency out there that does this, as far as I still know. And so I'd love to hear from you and see if you have a product or service I think that should move well with the power of what we're able to do with the ads. So with that said, I'll wrap it up. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.